Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Ward. This is a live show that sets up a Sunday morning live show. I have to explain that almost every time because the way that this works is I come on here Monday through Thursday and I talk about the relevant topics of the week's live Sunday morning talk show that comes on, which is the Wardroom Live. Sunday morning, live, noon Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. Just want to cover that bit of business. This week's live talk show is about the future of media. Today I'm going to be speaking about the future of social media, how it's changed, and where we're going from here. Now, I want to give millennial generation credit. I don't think we get enough credit as a generation that's kind of really expounded upon social media platforms and made it into something that gets people connected. So, it might not just be millennial generation, but I would like to give the millennial generation credit for being the biggest user of all social media platforms and helping perfect them in the way that they have. Now, perfection's a mute term because I don't necessarily believe that where we're at now is where we decided where we should be in the past as far as social media use and how it uses and how people use it and how the companies use us, basically, is what I'm really saying. How the companies use us, the social media companies, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, they use us as advertising revenue. That's what we are. And I explained this yesterday in yesterday's show about data privacy, data protection. And just to make a point about that I didn't make clear yesterday, I was specifically talking about creation of data. Like, for instance, this show is on YouTube. It's also on Twitch. Now, does YouTube or Twitch own the rights to the show? Because I'm using their platform. This is where antitrust laws kick in. Is the platform a freedom of speech platform, like a town hall? Is it a town hall style of space, event space, virtual space online that anybody can come to and say anything that they want and let it be equally heard among the ranks of other people? The answer to that question is no. Obviously, I'm setting that up to be a paradigm that has been created that really shunned people that necessarily might have a voice in a town hall, an actual event gathering place where people go to and everybody has a voice and that voice gets to be heard, right? So that's not what we have now. That model of social media is dead. It's been dead for a while. It's slowly dying off. Facebook, it's probably going to go away. And the future of social media really lies into the hands of Generation Z, as people call them. I think that's the dumbest name for our generation. Generation X was kind of cool. Millennials sounded really awesome. They couldn't come up with anything, so they just couldn't get creative enough and be politically correct enough, so they just went with Generation Z. If I was in Generation Z, I would be upset that that's what people would be calling a whole group of individuals born between dates. It's a mute point, but the future of social media in particular is really in the hands of Generation Z. What it's going to attract them. And it's not necessarily what should be a town hall-like event space where it's really driven on profitability for the company that you're using to post your freedom of expression, right? So I highlighted on data privacy yesterday in business, but it's not necessarily applies to people that use platforms and apps and their cell phones. So we might see that type of personal privacy protection come into place. We've seen it for the California Privacy Protection Act that goes in place January 1st, 2020. But not necessarily any other states across the United States kind of have a data policy in the EU, mainly for protecting the EU citizens, and then the countries created their own acts and policies based off of the GDPR, General Data Protection Rules, I think, or guidelines, something like that. Anyway, that was yesterday's show. But today I'm talking about social media. That's a big part of it. So I'm on YouTube, broadcasting live, and we come on Sundays, me and my co-host, Mr. Mike, and we broadcast live. Now, does that say that that's a big amount of data being pushed to that platform? Does YouTube own that? Do they own that video? Do they own the rights to it? Well, Google seems to think so. Luckily, we also record videos, the same video, and we post it. We have a live multicasting service that pushes it to Twitch too. And, in the future, we'll probably be pushing to all sorts of platforms all at once the technology gets more enabling. But that's besides the point. That was really yesterday's show, and I covered it enough of the detail, but some interesting figures about where the future of media really lies. It lies in online video. 6% compound growth year over year in online video use across the world. Newspapers obviously is on the other end of that scale. It's a minus 8.3% compounded year over year. Think about that. Nobody's buying newspapers. I bought a newspaper from my dad when he was in town visiting. It was $2.75. So nobody's buying a $3 newspaper. Get out of here. Video gaming is another one that's up there. Online advertising, that's going to go away. I feel like online advertising is going to go away with the death of this, of Facebook, really. The death of Facebook. It's going to end. They're driven by profitability, and ownership. It's a corporation. They have stakes, ownership stakes that they have to, appease every year in profitability. Nobody's going to buy their stock. They're not going to expand in their operations. They can use their stable coin all they want to entice people to come to Facebook or come back to Facebook. Now they have a dating platform inside Facebook. They'll do whatever they have to do to drive the user numbers back up. It's really stagnant in growth. And when I say Generation Z, just think, if you were 18, less than that, 15, 16, 17, in your late teens, and your parents are on Facebook, you think you're going to be on Facebook too? No. 13-year-olds are not on Facebook. They use Snapchat. They might have Instagram. They probably don't even post to Instagram. They post to TikTok, which is an up-and-coming platform. It's a Chinese platform. It's up-and-coming. It's got Instagram-level numbers almost, higher than Twitter. And that's an online it's a mobile video platform. It's basically Instagram stories, kind of. But there's a lot more different depths and layers to it, which makes it enticing. Now, there's all sorts of apps in China that, people in the United States and Europe don't even see. They don't even know about. They're like super apps that we just don't have access to. And they're very niche. They get very niche in their approach to apps and users and usability. People don't want to be targeted for ads and ad revenue and pushing products, right? We get products pushed onto us now. That's how advertising works. I explained that yesterday with, your IP address gets pinged, and then you'll always see the advertisements, the same advertisements. It even goes so far to just thinking about products. You could think about a product for a few days, and all of a sudden you'll start seeing ads. Like, that's where it starts. I start questioning, whose best interests are at heart here, because what are they reading my mind? It's insane the way it works. And a lot of people have had this. It's not just me having some intuitive moment, but it's really interesting how the evolvement of social media has come about. Now, it's not necessarily about peer-to-peer engagement anymore. Instagram was kind of like that. They killed it. They killed Instagram. Now it's Businessgram. It might as well just be called Businessgram because it's a business platform. It's a BDC platform. It's no longer user to user. It's business to consumer. You just have access to it as a user, right? It's the same thing. Facebook was been like that. Facebook didn't create a town hall style social media platform. That has been around for a long time. So MySpace, right? AOL chat service back in the day, right? That was really the first type of social interaction you would get. It was just a chat. And that still holds true. That's what WeChat is. It's literally AOL chat. It's a chat. It's a messaging service. And that's why you've seen Facebook go to messaging. Every one of these social media platforms has messaging on it. So, the future of social media is really, it's gotten to be to where users want very customized experiences, and I guess they want walls around their protection. What they're posting, is it going to be on there forever? Where does that data get pushed to? Who has access to it? That's why Snapchat is such a popular platform, because supposedly the pictures, your stories, whatever you post on there, company stories, it goes away after a certain, 24 hours, right? Supposedly, that it's not stored on some server somewhere. Now, I don't know. I question it, but that's what their platform is. It goes away. So when we're talking about the future of something, we're really speculating on human behavior, first of all, and what the human behavior, how's it going to react to certain things. For one, data protection is a big part of this. Who is the owner of the data of the creation of your posts, of your videos, of your voice? Remember I was talking about video or voice yesterday with your phone? Your microphone is always on. Okay, Google, search this. I didn't touch it. See, I didn't touch anything. Now it's just searching whatever. So who owns your voice at that point? Anything that you say after Alexa, Siri, did the words Alexa, Siri, Cortana, Google's, voice recognition system. It's kind of sketchy. You don't own the words out of anything that comes out of your mouth after those sentences or after those name phrases to get the attention of the voice recognition platform that you're trying to use, right? So that's kind of sketch. That's going to change with privacy protection laws coming. Now, who knows when they're going to actually happen? It's a big business, and there's lobbyists that are trying to keep social media the way it is, as a business consumption platform that feeds advertising and pushes ad revenue and targets consumers. That's what it's become. That's what it is, whether you like it or not. That's why I was kind of a fan of Twitch. It's an enclosed platform, and Amazon bought it out. Really smart move by Amazon. All they did was take what Microsoft Live was trying to do with video games, live streaming video gamers, and Twitch did it in its own platform as a social app, and it destroyed Microsoft Live. So, who knows what apps are going to do next. But I'm a fan of Twitch. I like TikTok. I signed up for it. Don't have anything on there, but I like it. I like the concept of it. So, into the future, there's probably going to be more apps than ever, always rolling out, and it's whatever's going to grab the attention. But I feel like the users still have the power, and the power is not necessarily in social interaction, but in user-to-user interaction. Because again, that social interaction is dead. That town hall style, post something, hope people see it. The algorithms killed it, first of all. And secondly, like, if you have 1,500 people that you follow, like, you're going to see the same 60 people's posts. And after you get done filtering through their posts, the way these algorithms are working, you might see the other 1,440. So it's hard to speculate on what it's actually going to be. But you can look at human behavior and trends in human behavior, and you can kind of almost see where we're going. Virtual reality was supposed to be a thing. I still don't think it's going to be a thing, just because nobody wants to have a screen this far away from their face for any length of time. So, AI, augmented reality, we're going to be starting to see more of that. Kind of what the Google Lens might be. But that technology isn't good enough for mass rollout yet. It's kind of just like cryptocurrencies. It's not good enough for every single person on the planet to use it all at once. Because it would just, the enablement of the technology is just not there yet. So, but we'll see it, and we'll see how humans interact with it. But I believe, augmented reality, I had this discussion the other day, it's going to be a big thing. Not virtual reality, that's different. Two different things. So I hope you join us Sunday. This is not really my forte in discussion, but we'll have a debate and talk about it. Come to Sunday show, me and Mr. Mike. This is his topic area of discussion this week, so I'll let him speak on it probably a little bit more than what I'm going to speak on, which is mainly just going to be about data protection and how it affects people in their everyday life, how it affects businesses, right? So come, show up. We'll come in with some data points, more data points and numbers. And there's going to be a question and answer session at every live, the Wardroom Live. At every live Sunday morning talk show, there's going to be Q&A. That's why it's live. We want engagement. This is a social platform too. I mean, we're talking about the future of media. This is a social media platform. I'm sitting in my spare bedroom with a camera, some lights, a microphone, and an internet connection. And I'm live on 2 platforms. But, that's the future of broadcasting right there. It doesn't take any special talent. It takes some know-how, figuring it out. So come join us Sunday morning. I probably won't come on here tomorrow just because I don't know that much about the specifics of this whole broad scope of this topic area. But I'm coming back next week with the future of capitalism, and we might, I might just come on here and speak on the most important topics that come to my mind and my heart of the day. Not necessarily always have the daily wards about economics and finance, because it's super boring. I know it is. The only reason I really like it is because I understand it. I understand how systems work, and we're all a part of it. And we're here to, believe it or not, make those systems better. Our time is coming. If you're young, if you're a millennial, our time is coming to change the world. We're on the peak. We've already changed it with social media. I just explained that point earlier. We don't get credit for it. And it's not really any credit's due because it's turned into a business for profitability. It's turned into, what companies and stakeholders make it, not necessarily benefiting everyone that uses it. So come into Sunday's show with a fresh mind and ask us some questions. If not, watch the replay, leave a question in the comments section. But that has been the Daily Ward for today. It's been a short week because of Monday's holiday, and we're going to really get after it coming starting Sunday, and then all next week until the next holiday we have off for these rounds of shows is Yeah, Columbus Day. Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. We're not doing shows. But the times in between, I'll be here. Speaking about topics of the day. So I wish to see you guys all on there. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.